YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and I wanted to talk about veterans and some of the experience I've had being a veteran, and particularly a disabled veteran. This is pretty much life after being disabled. I was disabled because of an injury I caught in the military. Of course, that's how you become a disabled veteran. But this is too high. But even more so, my disability hindered me. It didn't hinder me from everyday life to where I can't get up, I can't things along that point. It hindered me to where I couldn't perform certain jobs, and I still can't to this day. Um, I had to have an operation actually while I was in the military, and nonetheless, I was disabled, and I am disabled. I'm also a disabled citizen because of a car crash. So my movements, although I may be able to do some things, I can't do them without being in pain. And so I'm constantly in pain. And I don't like taking painkillers. So, I'm just hurting every day. I used to go over to my neighbor's house and be like, hey, can you walk on my back, and get their kids, to walk on my back. And I don't do that anymore. But nonetheless, I'm also, being that I'm with Humana, I have a silver sneaker card where I can go to most of these gyms for free except Planet Fitness. But nonetheless, so I go to the gym and try to, work out to, pretty much stay strong. And also, Planet Fitness has this bed that I like to lay on, and it does that whole massage thing. I'll be going there today, and it's good. It's good for my back. But being a veteran, one is, it depends on who you talk to, is good and and bad to some people. Being a disabled veteran, there's levels to your disability. So I am a 10% disabled veteran, which is probably going to go up here soon. And so I can go to the VA and get, health care there. And in some cases, I can get actually psych dental. But the VA has their own insurance that you pay into for that. And anybody can do that. But I'm also on the VOA program, which is voc rehabilitation, which means I go to school, and that allows you to get sight and dental. Other than that, normally you can't unless you're on the insurance. Okay, I just wanted to get that out of the way. So the VA takes care of most of my health care. I also have Humana now, so I can go to a doctor, yada, yada, yada. Obamacare or whatever that falls under. But nonetheless, so pretty much once a veteran is deemed disabled, they are allotted a few things. One of them, uh, is you can get a stipend every month from the military for as long as they deem you still disabled. They can actually take that away. But nonetheless, if you're a disabled veteran, depends on the degree of your disability. You get a stipend that pretty much starts at somewhere around $100, and it goes up and up and up. So you have some people who are 100% disabled. I think either my brother or my sister is 100% disabled. This doesn't mean that they can't move. This just means that they have an injury that does not allow them to perform the job that they used to do. Now, both of them are mobile. I don't know if they can run or not, but they walk, talk just fine. They're fine. And there's different ways to get those, you know allotments, as far as your degree of disability. You can, you have people who come back from war and missing legs. Of course, they're going to be 100% disabled. And you got, people who come back from war and they look fine, but they're tore up, they're mentally destroyed. Because, my friend, he's fine as far as physically, but he's 70% disabled because he saw his friend get his head blown off right in front of him as soon as they got off the plane in the war. They landed them in a hot zone. 300 soldiers. They got out the plane, stood up, boom, one of them got their head blown off. He saw that. He saw his other friend get his leg blown off. So he is. I mean, his mind is like he can function. He was a cop for a while, but but it does something to you when you see that, when it could have been you, when that was a person you really, really knew. You know what I'm saying? And you're seeing people dying all around you. There, listen. There's no real remedy for that. This is why the military pays you for that, because if you see war, you'll never want to see war again. Like war is not a glorious thing. It is. It just isn't. And while he went over, I was stateside, and I started seeing people die who were still stateside because of spousal issues. Husbands went to war, wives started cheating, husbands came back, you know, husbands started killing their wives, and that happened in my barracks. And a few other things traumatic happened, but I don't have mental issues because of what happened, so I don't get any stipend for that. Um, but there are programs out there for veterans to help us in one way or another. There are counselors out there if you have mental issues. There are plenty of doctors on hand. There are programs outside of the VA that you can get into if you need help with your rent. There's you can go to the commission, um, the Veterans Commission, and they can pretty much direct you in where you need to go. Um, the Veterans Commission is a very, very good outlet for information. There are other little satellite programs that you really like. I didn't know about for 20 years, and I just happened to stumble upon them. Like, wow, you guys do this, and they're like, yeah, we'll help you out. And that's exactly what they do. They'll give you that one-time help, and then that's it for them. You know what I mean? A lot of these places aren't places you can go repeatedly, but you can go get yourself some help, like the homeless shelter. The homeless shelter actually has a veterans program. I did not know that, you know what I mean, until I was under threat of losing my apartment where I'm staying at now last year. So, I had to call them up and see exactly what they do. And basically, if you got that eviction letter and they're about to kick you out, you go down there, to the shelter and say, hey, look, this is a situation, and you show them that letter, there's a good chance that they're going to help you out. Now, sometimes they may deny you. It all depends on what's going on with the person who's doing, yada, yada, yada. But nonetheless, they are there to help veterans. You know what I mean? And another outlet for veterans is you can write your congressman. I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. You know what? I'm gonna save that for the next video because this is 8 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna say what happened in the next video. It's your boy Tone Chill too. Peace.